Today's video is going to be another book haul. However, this book haul is actually books that I have borrowed off my mum. I always talk with my hands on, I've noticed it more recently, but anyway, this little book haul is actually books that I have borrowed off my mum. They'll probably stay with me for a long time because I've borrowed quite a few, and I have many more to borrow, but I actually couldn't carry all the ones I wanted to borrow, so we've started with the ones that I am about to show you. My mum is a big reader just like me, and she is really into fantasy books too, so love looking at her bookshelves. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe. I post every Wednesday and every Sunday. Also, add me as a friend on Goodreads and follow my bookstagram. The links are down below. But yeah, let's just get into going through these books. The first book that I have borrowed from my mum is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. A very, very popular book. This is like the TV show cover, which I literally hate, but Game of Thrones is on my series TBR for the year, so I was like, this will do until I get my own copies. And I think I might be the only person left on planet Earth who hasn't read the book or watched the series, so I have absolutely no idea what this is actually about. I know nothing about it, so no spoilers please. But it says, kings and queens, knights and renegades, liars, lords and honest men, all will play the Game of Thrones. Summers span decades, winter can last a lifetime, and the struggle for the Iron Throne has begun. It will stretch from the south, where heat breeds plot, lust and intrigues, to the vast frozen north, where a 700-foot wall of ice protects the kingdom from the dark forces that lie beyond. The Game of Thrones, you win or you die, and the series is actually called A Song of Ice and Fire. I think a lot of people think the series is just called Game of Thrones because that's what the TV series is called, but the book series is called A Song of Ice and Fire. So yeah, definitely gonna get around to this year. I might not finish the entire series this year, we'll see, but definitely gonna start it. I know he hasn't actually finished writing all the books, has he? I wonder if he ever will. But I am gonna read the books and then watch the series. I borrowed a little, thriller, this sounds like, and it is Among the Living by Tim Leben. My mum reads quite a lot of male authors, and I literally never read male authors hardly. Actually saying that I am reading a book by a male author at the moment. But what really got me about this is that it said that it was from the author of Netflix's The Silence, and I remember watching that and I remember enjoying it. So this one says, estranged friends Dean and Bevan meet after 5 years apart when they are drawn to a network of caves on a remote Arctic island. Bevan and her companions are environmental activists determined to protect the land, but Dean's group's exploitation of rare earth minerals deep in the caves unleashes an horrific contagion that has rested frozen and thrillers emerging from the caves, Dean and Bethan and their rival teams undertake a perilous journey on foot across an unpredictable and volatile landscape. The ex-friends must learn to work together again if they're to survive, and more importantly, stop the horror from spreading into the wider world. So yeah, I think this sounds super good. I think my mum said it was good, so... And it's really quite short as well. It is... like under 300 pages. So hopefully it'll be like a fast-paced horror thriller. And then I also picked up The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. This has been made into a popular film, which again I have not seen, so again no spoilers. I do have another of their books which I bought recently. What is it? It's called Someone Like Me, but I haven't read it yet. But I know that this is very popular, so I am very intrigued. Every morning, Melanie waits in her cell to be collected for class. When they come for her, Sergeant Parks keeps his gun pointing at her while two of his people strap her into the wheelchair. She thinks they don't like her, but jokes that she won't bite. She jokes that she won't bite, but they don't laugh. And it says the most original thriller you will read this year. I think it came out quite a long time ago though. Oh no, 2014, so I wonder when the film came out. The thing with my mum's books is that like it literally in pristine condition, like even though she's read them, like she doesn't break the spine or anything, so that might be a bit of an issue because I am like, when I read a book, I read it, I'm like cracking the spines, like dog-earing the pages. So let's see how far we get. And then I also decided to borrow Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is the second book. This book is after Vicious, so the Villains series, and I have Vicious up on my bookshelf. I bought that the past couple of months, maybe like 3 months ago actually, but I wanted to like have the next one to read, so I wasn't just like waiting around, so I decided to borrow the second one so that I could get on with reading Vicious quite soon. I'm not going to read the back of this one because I don't want to spoil the first for myself. But I have heard mixed opinions on this. Some people love like the second one, and then some people really don't like it, so we will see what I think to it. This is quite a bit bigger. This literally looks like a brand new book. Like, I do not understand how my mum has actually read this. Like, seriously. Some of my books look worse than this when I haven't even, like, when I literally just bring them home. And another popular book that I saw, and actually my mum was getting rid of this one, like she was going to give it to charity, so I thought, well, I'll take it and see what I think, because I've heard so many things about it, and that is The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I've heard so many things about this, like in the past, maybe like last year or something, so I am unsure. Well, think she was getting rid of it because she didn't like it, but she had a pile of like she wasn't going to read again. So she was making some more space for some new books. But it says, at a party thrown by her parents, Evelyn Hardcastle will be killed. Again. She's been murdered hundreds of times, and each day Aidan Bishop is too late to save her. The only way to break this cycle is to identify Evelyn's killer, but every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes in the body of a different guest, and someone is desperate to stop him ever escaping Blackheath. This probably isn't one that I would have like picked up in the bookshop and like bought, but because she was getting rid of it, I thought, oh well, let's just take it and see if I ever decide to pick it up. Have any of you read this? Let me know, because I've heard, like, I've seen a lot of popular things about it. Next is a book that I've actually been wanting to read for a really long time, so I'm glad that she has it that I could borrow. A lot of these books, if I really like them, I will then purchase myself, but I was excited about this one, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, again by V.E. Schwab. I have heard that this is a lot of people's favourite V.E. Schwab book, so I think weirdly though, this was my mum's least favourite V.E. Schwab book that she's read, she said. France, 1714. A desperate woman makes a desperate deal in the dark. A bargain to live forever, but be remembered by none. So begins the invisible life of Addie LaRue, a shadow muse to artists throughout history, forgotten friend, confidant, and lover, slipping away with the morning light. Addie passes through lives desperate only to leave a trace of herself, until the day she walks back into a small bookshop in Manhattan and meets Henry, who remembers her. After 300 years, Addie's life is restarting, but the devil never plays fair. As Henry and Addie's lives start to intertwine, they must face the consequences of the decisions they've made and the prices to be paid. So, yeah, all her books sound really interesting. I haven't even picked up one yet, even though I've got a few, so this is high up on my TBR list for sure. Then I have the first in a series of 6 standalones. I think that's how my mum described it, and this one is 6 stories by Matt Wesolowski. One body, 6 stories. Which one is true? So I don't really know how it works. I don't know how it works, but basically this is the first, and there is another 5, and I believe it's called the 6 stories. That's what the collective series is called, and that's what the first one is called. Looks like this, and my mum has the other 5, but I've just taken the first one for now. And she said they were really good. They're super short, like 200 pages. So, and it says 1997 Scareclaw Bell. The body of teenager. Oh, I got really breathless. Tom Jeffries is found at an Outward Bound centre. Verdict, misadventure, but not everyone is convinced. 2017, enter elusive investigative journalist Scott King, whose podcast examinations of complicated cases have rivaled the success of Serial with his concealed identity, making him a cult internet figure. In a series of 6 interviews, King attempts to work out how the dynamics of a group of idle teenagers conspired with the sinister legends surrounding the Fell to result in Jeffrey's mysterious death. series. I have the first one again, but I didn't have the second one, and I wanted it on hand in case I really enjoyed the first one and wanted to go straight on to the second one, and that is For the Throne by Hannah Witten. The first book is called For the Wolf. This is the Wilderwood series. I think it's just a duology, but the first is called For the Wolf. This is the second, For the Throne. So again, I'm not going to read the back because I don't want to spoil the first book, but I did actually start reading another book by Hannah Witten, The Foxglove King, and I DNF'd it. So I'm hoping that I get along with these books a little bit better. I believe they're like Little Red Riding Hood retellings. Or they're in some way inspired by Little Red Riding Hood. But I do love the covers. The cover is gorgeous. I love that. And then next we have a first in a series. My mum loves these books. It is by the guy who wrote Empire of the Vampire. I think that's what his name is. J. Christoph, yeah. And this one is called Never Night. Never flinch, never fear, never forget. Looks like this. Again, I love these covers. So this is the first one. And it says, Mia Corvia is only 10 years old when she is given her first lesson in death. Destined to destroy empires, the child raised in shadows made a promise on the day she lost everything to avenge herself on those that shattered her world. But the chances to strike against such powerful enemies will be fleeting, and Mia must become a weapon without equal. Before she seeks vengeance, she must seek training among the infamous assassins of the Red Church of Atreia. Inside the church's halls, Mia must prove herself against the deadliest of opponents and survive the tutelage of murderers, liars, and demons. At the heart of a murder cult, the church is no ordinary school, but Mia is no ordinary student. So yeah, I haven't actually read Empire of the Vampire, but my mum, I think she might have. I do want to read it. But because my mum recommended these, I thought, let's give them a go, and she has all of them, so if I like this one, I can just then go and pick up the other to read. Finally, the final book I borrowed from my mum is Horseman by Christina Henry. If you watched my last haul, you would have seen that I picked up her most recent release, which was like a thriller. However, this is from her other, I don't know if it's a series, but she writes kind of retellings or books inspired by fairy tales or myths, I guess. And if you couldn't already tell, this one is inspired by Sleepy Hollow, which I love. One of my favourite films. Everyone in Sleepy Hollow knows about the Horseman, but no one really believes in him. Not even Ben Van Brunt's grandfather, Brom Bones, who was there when it was said that the Horseman chased the upstart Crane out of town. Brom says that's just a legend. The village gossips talk him. More than 30 years after those storied events, the village is a quiet place. 14-year-old Ben loves to play Sleepy Hollow boys that reenacted the event Brom once lived through, but then Ben and a friend stumble across the headless body of a child in the woods near the village, and the discovery makes Ben question everything the adults in Sleepy Hollow have ever said. Could the horseman be real after all, or does something even more sinister stalk the woods? So yeah, these again are really short, which is fun, but I'm excited to see her take on Sleepy Hollow. So yes, they are all of the books that I have borrowed from my mum. I'm excited to get through them eventually and pick them up. I feel so lucky that I have a mum who loves reading and who actually enjoys kind of like the same kind of books as me. So yeah, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I will definitely be back with another haul at some point of more books that I've borrowed from my mum. So yeah, maybe I should do like a book video with her. That would be fun. But yeah, okay, I will see you in my next video.